Good morning, everybody. It's me, Ria, just hopping on for my Power of 3 share. I like to start my day doing this because it really centers me. It brings me into alignment to my heart. It just takes me in here for a minute, and then that starts the momentum for the day. So when I go for my run and whatever I'm doing, it's almost like I'm infused, I'm enlightened, I'm charged. So I figure if I get something out of it, maybe one of you guys out there somewhere will get something out of it also. It's a great way to bring yourself to the now, to bring yourself into the present, because that is where everything is right now. Good morning, Jolene. All right, guys. So as always, we're going to start with the cross breath. And most of you are familiar with this. I love this. It's the perfect imagery. It's the perfect visualization of who you are. You can even see the little head and like the little arms. Oh my God, that even in itself says a lot, how the little arms are wide open. And to me, that is the perfect way to live life. Arms wide open, like that old Creed song with arms wide open. And that's really, really, really what I try to do. And with arms wide open just means you're receptive. Oh my God. So even in this symbol of the light being and the light angel, this angel is saying arms wide open. To live in that way makes you receptive to abundance. And when you do the cross breath, it brings you to a receptive. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Kimmy. It brings you to that receptive mode. So the cross breath in itself is so much more than even symbolizing that it's a reflection of your light and love, the pure essence of who you are. But there's little nuances in it. Just the way the arms are wide open, just the way when you do the cross breath, it brings you to a receptive mode. It also grounds you to the physical reality of Mother Earth, and it's connecting you to the higher frequencies of who you really are. And it's over the ocean representing, oh my God, I'm getting all the goosebumps. The ocean representing your feelings and your emotions and connecting to those feelings and emotions. There's just so much in this picture. And I think I'm picking up on even more of it because you guys, I have some tuner-inners this morning as I'm doing it. And it's almost like I'm tapping in and tuning into your energy also, which amplifies my energy. So I'm even picking up and things are coming to mind that I don't even normally pick up on. How beautiful. And this is a sunrise. And even the image of it being a sunrise is so significant because it's a new day. And when you come to the moment in the center of who you are, every moment truly is a new day, a new beginning, guys. Holy cow, I could just make my whole message on this picture here. Thank you, Sandy Maraca, my beautiful friend in Old Orchard Beach that took this picture, because I didn't take the picture. But, people, oh my God, you will be reflected and brought to you, just like this little light angel, that which helps to continue your expansion, continue your growth, can help you to continue to shine your light. And Sandy is obviously one of those beautiful ladies for me. So yeah, so even the ocean, tuning into your emotions, following your joy, following your excitement, but also those emotions of sadness too are necessary because they also bring us to another level of who we are, another level of expansion. And this is what the end result is. All right, guys, so we'll just do good morning, Rowana. We'll just, let me find the sun here. I'll give it a second to come back out. But just, we'll do one breath because I know I get really caught up in this cross breath with every power of share, and I don't want to constantly be repeating myself, but I can't help it. So this is who you are. You can either close your eyes or use the sun. I'm going to show you the real sun for a visual, because the real physical sun is just that physical representation. It's that mirror back. It's that reflection of all the light that we hold within. We are God's source energy. We are illuminators. Illuminators, guys. I can't freak. Jolene. Oh my God. So Jolene, if you're still there, you know how the last share that you came in and you said God wanted a new name? It's Illuminator, Jolene. Illuminator. To me, Illuminator represents and defines the love and light as close as I can think of. I was running and the word illuminator came to me. And what does the sun do? What does the light do? It illuminates and brings awareness and light to all situations. It brightens the dark. It brings greater insight. It's all loving. It's never judging. It's only bright white light. To me, this is a perfect representation too of kind of like that God energy. It's illuminating. It brings awareness. It feels good. It's high vibes, high frequencies, and it brings illumination, love, and light to anything that it brings its awareness to, because it's through our awareness that brings illumination. And as a creator and as God, nothing is created without that awareness. If you don't see it and it's not in your awareness, it really doesn't exist in your reality. It might exist in another reality from another awareness, but not from ours. Can you tell me where I can find out about your healing services? Yes, Rowan, I would love anybody. I am so immersed in my messages. I always forget to mention where you can look up my services. So Temple of the Sun, right here where I'm filming. I'm streaming my live. If you go at the top of the Temple of the Sun page under services, there's a few services that I offer, and the Divine Frequency Imprint has a lot to do with this. And again, this cross breath is part of that Divine Frequency Imprint. It's bringing forth your higher energies, your God self, and bringing them into your physical vessel. You are them, but this helps to anchor them into your physical experience. We all have our own divine imprint, our own divine expression of God source energy that nobody could ever duplicate. It's individual to you. And so my Divine Frequency Imprint anchoring healing session does just that. And there's a few reviews and explanation of that on the page too. And if you go to services and you go about both of those sections, because it's not really a business page, but I listed those. Every format is different under Facebook depending on what page you pick. So if you go under my services at the top of Temple of the Sun, you can access more about Temple of the Sun under the About section. But if you want to purchase a service or donate, go under Services. I also do these Power of 3 readings, and they're super powerful because it gives you the mind, the physical self, the spirit, and the God self perspective on a question or situation that you might be going through. I like that. I call Source Elo, which means sun god, chariot across the sky. I love it, Jolene. I love it. All right, guys, so we'll do the cross breath. Let me see if I can find the sun here. But, oh my God, you guys are so beautiful. You just activate me. All right, so let's see. It's behind that tree per usual. This time of the day is usually when I do it. But I'll get it the best I can. Shoot. Well, it's right there coming forth. But anyways, because God is all, and we are God, we are all, we are in all. Everything that we see is a reflection of us. And the sun, to me, is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful physical symbol in Gaia that truly represents the light of who we are. So we'll take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe in, we're bringing in our divine frequency. We're coming to the heart, the center of who we are. We're connecting and communicating with the platform of all that we are, all that we ever have been, all that we ever will be. It's all within the heart. It's all within the breath. And we hold it. And as we are holding it, what it does, guys, is it brings focus to the moment. It brings awareness to the heart center. It brings the awareness of the truth of who we are. It also loosens up energies that no longer serve us, blockages. They have served us and help cultivate who we are today. But it helps to loosen up what we don't need. It helps to move the energy of who we are, also our divine essence that we've come to experience as a physical being. And when we exhale, try to push that very last breath out, that right down to the gut. What it does is it kind of gives that extra little push for anything that's trying to hold on, almost like a cord, almost something that's stuck in us. If you give it that extra little at the end, it's like giving that extra little push to cut it off and to release that which doesn't serve us. And that which doesn't serve us can just simply be old ways of being, old thoughts about ourselves, paradigms, beliefs, just little things that we're holding on to that no longer serve us. So we'll take one more breath in, guys, without me speaking. In through your nose. Hold it. And exhale. Wow. When I do that without talking, instantly, I say this every time, but I'm really surprised how it brings us. Good morning, Melinda. It brings us to the center. It literally like cuts my head off. Obviously we need our head, we need our mind. We're in the physical experience, but what you focus on grows. And when you bring attention to the heart center, it brings you attention to all that you are, your purpose, your divine frequency, everything, because in reality, there's no time or space. And when you enter and tune in, tap into the heart of who you are, which is your God source energy, it's a portal, guys. You guys are human portals that take you to all information, all parts of you that you need. It's like cutting through the middleman and going straight to the source. You're going straight to the source for information, for guidance, for just being, and just the beingness, because it's just through your being, attention, and belief that your outer world is manifested and reflected. So if you could just live as much as possible and bring yourself to this, that's what you're going to emanate back out, guys. Thank you, Melinda. All right, guys. So I guess I was debating if I was just going to do a Gaia's guidance, a power of 3, or whatever. So I will just do a quick paragraph share. And I always ask for our collective selves, our higher selves, to point us to the paragraph that resonates or just that we need to hear today, that we need to hear. Because a lot of times we've got all these different layers, sometimes preventing us from receiving information, tuning into the truth. And these are all just building blocks, and building blocks are meant to be built upon, expanded, brought to even greater expansion and awareness. All right, guys. I've done that one before. I've done it twice before, so I'll just ask for another one. All right. Quickie. And again, I use a lot of my own personal life experiences in these paragraphs, because we all just have those simple little experience, and it shows how we could take a simple experience and expand and extract the truth and get great reminder. I'm not sure what you're being reminding of, but thank you, Melinda. All right. So just the everyday life, we're given exactly what we need every moment in the now. And I think this book too, and the paragraphs just show how simple things in life, how you can grow from it, or it shows you maybe just tweak a little bit of a different insight or perception of your own life. So what this is talking about, I think it's the day that I met Bob, and I was invited to a cookout, and I thought that the person that invited me to the cookout, this is embarrassing, was interested in me, but come to find out he had his girlfriend there. But then I met his best friend, and I thought the person that invited me to his cookout, I thought that his girlfriend was Bob's girlfriend. It was just a whole embarrassing little situation. But anyways, guys, I'll show you it, and I'll read it to you anyway. So it said later, so I met him at the cookout, and it said later we did some tubing. I love to go tubing, you know, pulling a tube behind a boat. I swear, if there was an Olympic, back then, if there was an Olympic event of tubing, I would have loved it. All right, so we did some tubing. I was very eager, so I volunteered to go first. I didn't want to monopolize the tube because I can be a total tube hog. So I asked if anything wanted to go double. Anybody wanted to go doubles with me? It was a big enough tube to do doubles. Bob ended up going with me. The other girl, Bob's girlfriend, remember I thought it was his girlfriend, had hurt her shoulder. And the other guy that I thought was interested in me was driving the boat. I remember thinking, I hope his girlfriend doesn't think I'm hitting on him. It was all business for me, because tubing is all about business. So I didn't want to insult the girl by having Bob go tubing, but they weren't even girlfriend, boyfriend. So needless to say, I had an awesome time. I taught Bob, the novice that he was, the tricks of the trade. He, of course, would never admit to being a less experienced tuber than me. The others on the boat said he looked like a little rag doll being manhandled on that tube. Sorry, sweetie. So, yeah, I don't know. So how can we extract some expansion from that tube hog? Yes, John, I'm a tube hog. Don't get me on that tube because it's just when you love something, you want to take it over. You just, you want to share, but you really don't want to share. So anyways, what I guess I'm getting out of this paragraph is misconceived ideas in the mind, like, oh my God. So you know how things never appear as they are or cannot appear as they are? So this is a perfect example. The human mind getting in the way of the truth of the situation, but how the universe is still working for you. First of all, I'll just backtrack a teeny bit. So the person that was having the cookout, I used to cut his hair because I had a hair business in my house. And he asked me, oh, I'm having a cookout. You're invited to come if you want. And my immediate reaction, because I'm a total hermit, introvert at times. And I said, oh, thank you for inviting me. But inside, I said, thank you for inviting me, but I don't think I can because I had my kids or whatever. And then as the week went on, I was thinking, and I had a little voice communicating with me, and it was my higher self. And I said, Marie, what are you thinking? You got to practice what you preach. This is an open door. This is an open door for you to step through. And it was about the opportunity being presented. I was going to be shy. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to live in my little safety net and not put myself out there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he mentioned tubing also in the conversation, and my higher self, my higher self speaking said, and he said the magic word, tubing. You've been wanting to go tubing. And I'm like, that would be horrible. It would be me shutting the door to something the universe or spirit wanted to offer me. So I think that's part of the message too. When a door opens and you're a little excited, step through it, even if you don't understand how it's going to end up. Because I wasn't interested in that person either, so I didn't want to give him the wrong idea. And I said, Marie, just be open and trust. That's what it was. I had to be open and trust and step through that door. I called him back and I said, yeah, I'm going to go to the party. What time is it at? And he acted really surprised. But I ended up going, and then you heard a little bit of the other stuff going on because I think he didn't think I was going. And then so he had his other girlfriend, Leanne, there. And it was just, it's just weird how our human perception can only perceive and understand things from past experiences. So my mind was being based on what you think, and instead of, oh my God, the universe and spirit is just so tricky. Like, they play little jokes on you sometimes. They have a sense of humor. And I guess what I'm saying is, don't take things for face value. Things can always be different than what you're thinking. If you go with the flow, even though the mind might not understand, you don't know what's going to happen. And there's a lot of other things behind that story I'll get into probably on other paragraphs. But just trust. Even if you think, oh, that isn't going to work out, because I was also sort of seeing somebody else also. This was during my divorce years. I was also sort of seeing someone else at the same time, but I wasn't really serious. And I even asked my son Caleb, who was like 10 or 12 at the time. He says, yeah, Mom, you should go. And it's funny too, that just brings up another thing, that sometimes you have these little outside people, these little guides, spirits working through them and encouraging them. So if there is something, not to give you so much information, but if there is something in your life that you're going through right now, a little door, a little opportunity being presented, just go for it. And you are probably getting tiny little signs, which are really from you, to encourage you. People saying, hey, you should do this. Hey, why don't you go live? Or, hey, why don't you go take that class you want to take? Or why don't you do this? Or, yeah, you would be really good at that. Take those all that energy into consideration, because it's really you speaking to you, trying to guide you, your higher self trying to guide you through the portal, through the other side, through greater awarenesses and expansions of you. And John says being open to the best outcome. Assumptions, thank you, John. It's so weird, but like when I'm in these states and talking or channeling, I lose so many human words, and then I listen back and I'm like, holy crap, I said that wrong. I skipped that word. I said the reverse of what I meant. And it's just when you got all this energy pushing, and I love it when you guys help me out. So yeah, don't assume anything. And you know that old saying of assume you make an ass out of you and me. oh, that old Odd Couple. I remember seeing that years and years ago. I used to watch that show with the Odd Couple with Felix and, the Odd Couple. And one time they said that, and Felix got up and he wrote it on the white. Well, it was probably a chalkboard back then. So anyways, yes, don't assume. Leave the opportunities open, because when you assume, you're only limited. You're keeping yourself in that box. Oh, thank you, Mythos Keegan. He just wrote his breakfast list, which is a page long. You want to say hi real quick?
Yeah.
Say hi. Say hi. All right, I'll be back in a second. Thank you. So yeah, don't assume and don't, just keep your... Life is a magical experience if you remain open to it. You don't know what could happen. I never would have guessed I'd be where I am today back on that day. I wouldn't have had Mythos, I wouldn't have had Yorsana, I wouldn't have made multiple moves. It's just, when you're open, you have no idea. It's not even about that one situation. It's everything that keeps creating behind that one opportunity. That one, oh my God, I'm getting all the goosebumps. So when you take that one tiny, tiny little step, even, for example, any of you guys out there, what you're doing, as you me, and like even Jolene going forward with all her classes and all that she's come forth and been totally vulnerable to new situations, ditching her house. I don't mean ditching, but letting go of it to open up space and create space for new opportunities, and everything that you guys do. And I'm sure it was probably a little scary for you, John, when you stepped into and started doing your EFT tapping and promoting that. And you get all these little monkey mind stuff going through your mind, but stay focused here. And when you're starting to feel all, ungrounded, always go back to the cross breath. That grounds me. And not only does it ground me, it's because it's it's anchoring you into the truth of who you are. It's anchoring you into your light. It's anchoring into your physical experience, instead of having your energy go up here and just get all... All right, so we'll ask for a quick Gaia's guidance card. And Gaia, oh my God, and Mother Earth, she is one with us. She's the perfect reflection and physical representation of who we are, because we're one with Gaia. We're one with Mother Earth. I was thinking yesterday, and I was going to do a little post, but I didn't. And the most important thing that I've ever done for my spiritual growth in me as a person, mind, body, and spirit, is to run outside. All right, what do we need to hear? I'll go on about it, but I'll start crying, so I'm just gonna stop it right there. All right, and the card for today is this one. Sun's coming out. Let's see here. Let's see if I can back you guys up. Just trying to see if I can get to a spot where you can actually see. So I already know the name of this card is, here we go, Chain Reaction. And what the actual message is your energy creates a chain reaction. Just like we were saying, when you step through that portal, when you step through that opportunity being presented in spite of fear and deciding to choose trust and faith, because that's where your power always lies, guys. You always have power. You always have power to decide what your perception is and what you're going to do. Are you going to base it in love? Are you going to make your decision based in love or trust? Love. and this is just telling you, when you do go through those portals, you create a chain reaction. Your energy creates a chain reaction, interlinking you with all of life. The focus of your energy will show in all areas of your reality. You are the source of all the connections in your life. You are the source. If I didn't go to that stinking barbecue, oh my God, I don't even want to. And I know the universe always offers you zillions and zillions of opportunities, but God, it was so beautiful, because I stepped through in trust and faith. I followed my joy, because I really, really love tubing, and I would not be living the miraculous, beautiful life that I'm living if I just... And it's so tiny, you would never think going to a cookout, going to a barbecue, going tubing would change your life and put it on a totally, radically different timeline. That's what it did for me. Passion is the heart, red. That's Ria's passion. John says, I was in a class with 100 therapists and asked, what am I doing here? Turned out to be my blessing. Exactly. My greatest fear, guys, as of late, I always say like as of late, like the past year, I wasn't going to do my channeling course because I was so afraid and I knew the expectations was going to be going live. And again, Caleb, oh my God, he's a constant. Caleb, my son, the older son, encouraged me to go to that party. He encouraged me to do my channeling class. He was living with us at that time. And he said, Mom, you got to do it. I'm so excited for you. This is your thing. And I wasn't going to do it because I was so afraid of going live. And then Caleb did this beautiful little mini video one time. And he says, when you go live, you're actually living. And going live, not that everyone has to go live, but it was so true because live and live are spelled the exact same way. And I believe that going live just simply means stepping into your life, stepping through those portals, stepping through those doors, guys. That's what going live is. It's not living in that shell. It's breaking through that shell and going live. It's like that little chick hatching and bursting through the egg. You know what now? It's gone live. It's entered the physical reality. And how do you enter the physical reality? You got to go live. You got to step. You got to move forward. Just like that chariot, Jolene. Oops, low connection. Let me go back over here. Sorry, guys. You got to go live. So, I'm so sorry. I lost you over in that corner. It is so weird. You got to go live. Be the chick that steps through that egg, guys. Breaks free of that shell and goes live. Oh, son of a bee, man. It was such a good little example, too. Tubinator. What are we going to call you, John? I got a tapinator? Tapinator? No, you're the cheerleader. You're a I always think of you, John, you should have a pair of pom-poms with you. You're the pominator. You're the cheerleader. You little pominator, you. All right. John is beautiful. God, such a beautiful life force that shares his life force with others. And when you share life forces and when two or more are gathered, it's just like crazy, crazy, crazy life force. Let me open this up. All right, guys, I am recording again. Oh, shoot. All right, guys, I love you. Bye. I keep losing.